Welcome to the Curated Beauty Podcast. Jessica Christie here, a health and beauty enthusiast who became a medical practitioner to be the authority on how to enhance both your outer beauty and inner beauty for the most confident glow. Founding and owning a multi-million-dollar aesthetic medical practice in Michigan, my mission is to bring all the bi-coastal innovations to the fresh coast of Michigan. From which aesthetic treatment gives you the most bang for your buck to how to create systems to be both professionally fulfilled and still have freedom of time and relationships, we will be diving into it all. Hello, and welcome to the Curated Beauty Podcast, where I share my personal reflections on various topics relating not only to subjects in aesthetic medicine and enhancing that outer glow, but also how are we cherishing our inner beauty? My name is Jessica Christie, and I'm the creator of the podcast and today's solo host. And I want to talk about a term that is almost becoming a movement across social media platforms, which is funny because it's trying to take it down. And it's the term defluencing. So have you guys heard of this term? Defluencing is used to describe the undoing of social media influence and addressing the negative effects of what this means. It can have so many strategies to it. Educating the audience on the risks of just trusting influencers blindly. Defluencing promotes the transparency and the accountability of influencers. And it also does encourage critical thinking and skepticism. So that's not bad, right? We need critical thinking in this world. But is there positive influencing that can happen? So let's just start by breaking down why I wanted to talk about this. It has a practical application. I did receive a DM early this week. On Instagram, I get lots and lots of DMs. People want me to weigh in on certain topics. If you're not following us, it's beautyculture.medspa. This patient wanted to know, actually, she's a follower. I don't even think she's a patient. I love to engage with everyone. So come find me. Let me know your thoughts. She wanted to talk about Kristin Cavallari. There was an article that she did for People and Us Weekly. It kind of graced all of the magazine platforms, which are now all virtual. If you got on a plane and you bought an Us Weekly and a People magazine back in the day, it is time for Botox. Although I'm kind of serious. I'm also teasing if Botox is not for you because that's what Kristin Cavallari was saying. She said, oh my gosh, I would never get Botox. I think lasers are a huge waste of time and money. If you saw my face right now, you would be appalled because I'm appalled. Then she posted kind of this like story where it said, ask me anything related to skincare. So I dug into that a little bit. Guess what Kristin Cavallari is launching? You guessed it. You're so smart. A skincare line, just like J-Lo when she said that olive oil was responsible for her amazing youthful glow. So I got to thinking, where is all this coming from? Is she driving the audience? You know, Kristin Cavallari, being as successful as she is, definitely has a marketing team that's telling her what to post, I think. If you're not familiar with Kristin Cavallari, you may be living under a rock, unless the rocks of Laguna Beach. If you're living under a rock in Laguna Beach, you still may know who Kristin Cavallari is. But she was a television personality back in the day. She was on the show The Hills. And then she was on the show Laguna Beach. Then she kind of did all these spin-offs. She is a CEO and founder of Uncommon James, which is a jewelry company, Uncommon Beauty, which we can talk about. And she's also a mom of 3, former wife of Jay Cutler, who plays football. And she has written cookbooks. And this girl, let me tell you, if you don't know who it is, Google her because she's gorgeous. Stunningly gorgeous, genetically blessed. Also takes really good care of herself. I just must say, I took a little bit of offense for the general public when I read what she wrote. So again, she's talking about how I can't believe that people are getting Botox. It's just not for me, like good for them. I looked horrendous when I got it. And then it was like, wait, you got it? So you said you didn't get Botox. Well, I got Dysport, she said. And Dysport's supposed to be healthier. So if you're speaking on a platform and you have a responsibility for influencing people, you might want to get your facts straight because neither is safer than the other. Actually, if we had to really argue the case, and I'm not here to argue, but I'm going to just spit truth. Botox has over 5,000 papers published, peer-reviewed, studying the efficacy and safety of Botox. Botox also has therapeutic indications, is even injected into children. There are, I think, 11 therapeutic indications, and then it hit the market cosmetically just over 20 years ago after they were studying it for blepharospasms and realized it worked so well there. But then the people wanted it injected in between their brows because they were like, oh my gosh, now I don't have those angry lines. So then, of course, the birth of Botox Cosmetic happened. Well, Kristin, darling, Dysport, although I love the product, it does not have all three areas between the brows, the forehead, and around the eyes FDA approved because Botox has actually put the R&D into approving those areas, which costs millions of dollars. Anywho, and time. So where is this coming from, Kristin? Before we go there, she also said, I hated the way that my eyes looked and it, thank God, wore off. I couldn't even smile. It's just not for me. Well, also, if you were educated on neurotoxins, it's not the neurotoxin's fault in that case. That is technique. So if Botox, Dysport, Xeomin, whatever flavor you have that you're injecting as a neuromodulator, if you place it in the wrong place, you're going to get an unnatural looking outcome. And things that people are most concerned about are cost, which I doubt she has a problem with paying for it, unnatural appearing results, and safety. And unnatural results is actually number one. So I hear you. It's not like she went to some cheap person, I'm sure. I think she probably went to a plastic surgeon. I don't know. I'm totally speculating that. But people always think plastic surgeons are the best injectors. I'm here to tell you, nurse injectors are incredible. I'm not even a nurse injector, so I'm not saying that because I think I'm the best. But I'll tell you, I have a whole team of them and they're who touch my face, not plastic surgeons. Anyway, I digress. She also went on to say she would never get a spray tan and she doesn't put fake tanner on because she's Italian and she just holds on to color and she's like, thanks, Dad. Got it. Oh, so it's like, Kristin, honey, you are this gorgeous girl who's 35. You are genetically blessed. You, I'm sure, juggle a lot. You've had a lot of life happenings and no one is to say that someone's life is easy, but you look good, girl. I give you props. But for the girls that don't have as much collagen as you do and wrinkle a little easier or spent more time in the sun, or like me, who is pasty white and tried to get tan and spent way too much time in the sun to the point that it led me to have a skin cancer, I don't just try to pick up a tan and let it last me. Because first of all, I'm not Italian. Love the food, love the shoes, love the leather goods, love the men, all that's good. But I will say that it's a little toxic to me to say that you would never put a self-tanner on because that's just gross and you're going to look orange. It doesn't work for you. That's what you should say. And let's not shame the girls who are just trying to honestly look a little bit more like you. I would kill for your legs. They're incredible. It's not for her. That's okay. She also finally copped to the fact that she had a breast job. And this was back in, I don't even know, but she had 3 children. The girl should have a breast job if she wants one. She says that she got a lift. She just looks incredible. If you look up pictures again, like we're so creepy stalking women and like looking at pictures. We're like literally objectifying and looking at her. I couldn't care less if Kristin Cavallari has a breast lift and a breast implant. Want to be creepy and look at the photos? There's something there. It's very beautiful. I'm just so jealous. Breast implants aren't for me. It's something I get to say. But just as they are for her and she looks incredible, I don't judge her for getting them, nor do I judge anyone. And I never say never either. So there's that. Additionally, what does this do? I have a couple issues with it. First of all, she's sharing information that she clearly doesn't have a firm grasp on. The fact that it's not safe, that it made her look horrible, she'd never do it again, that self-tanner makes you orange, all these things. My problem is, where's this coming from? So first of all, when she's talking about Botox, she's kind of speaking about how it's more important to strengthen your muscles, which almost seems like she's planting a seed for maybe a little strategic partnership and endorsement with M-Face from BTL. Again, speculation, but that's their whole mission and what they talk about in terms of that device. I'm not impressed with that device, but again, never say never. Maybe they'll make tweaks and it'll become the best thing since Botox Cosmetic. But it's a little interesting. Very similar sentiment. And then from there, you're selling a skincare line, girl. So are you just saying that you look so good because of your skincare line? Because she does say, I'm just so lucky that good skincare and a facial every month is what helps me stay where I need to be. So if we really want to dive into that, she did launch a 5-step skincare brand that is natural, quote unquote. You know that poison ivy is natural, by the way. There's like a daily foaming powder cleanser, a peptide with pineapple in it. Make sure you're not allergic to pineapple. A water cream that you use daily, eye cream, and a mango lip balm. So I'm sure that they're nice, elegant products and beautiful packaging that you're paying for. And I also am probably suspect that Kristin Cavallari uses all of these things herself without addition of other medical grade skincare if she truly wants to stimulate collagen. And can we just talk on the laser part? I don't care who you are. Find yourself a good laser operator. That's not a good word. But honestly, I think you have to be careful with some estheticians. We have an amazing medical esthetician that is licensed. She invests in future training. She's not just like lip service for one company. She is just incredibly thirsty for the knowledge. And as the technology changes, she's all there for it. Additionally, she is open to when something doesn't work, she shifts and she knows exactly why she does what she does. She's not just going through the motions. She's incredible. So I'm not talking bad about estheticians, but I do love when like we have a lot of nurse providers or aesthetic providers. It's nurses delivering your aesthetic treatments also with a lot of training. So when you have these treatments, that is what is actually stimulating collagen. Botox is relaxing the muscle so that the line softens. The line is created from the muscle movement. When you have filler, that is replacing hyaluronic acid in the skin and creating volume and sometimes plump or structure or definition. When you have biostimulators like Sculptra, you are actually offering some collagen growth with fibroblast activity turning into collagen. Type 1. There's Radiesse, another biostimulator. There's all these things, okay? And they all have a purpose. And if you don't know what you're talking about, you can't really guide a population of patients. But I will say that for that woman who is reading this thinking, gosh, is Botox for me? I want to try it. And then Kristin Cavallari comes on her high horse because her motive is to sell her 5-step skincare brand that she probably doesn't even really use. She might think, no, it's not for me. Shoot, darn it. And then I have the other end of the spectrum of the woman who thinks, I've had this DM come through. You know what? I wish I wouldn't have bought into the rhetoric that Botox is bad. And now it's too late for me, which isn't true, ladies. It is never too late. There is something for everyone. But let's circle back to what I initiated this all with is that defluencing. Like, where is that going? Oh, so I look at the cases where affiliate marketing exploitation happens. I think it's obvious to me because I'm technically part of the influencer crowd. I can see when someone's just cranking their Amazon affiliate store and they're just selling you things. When we promote defluencing, social media users can better protect themselves and their community from the negative effects that can have. It also creates more accountability and transparency in what people are promoting. I find particular interest in this because there are social media influencers who show improper techniques, and it also encourages novice injectors to perform these high-risk procedures without any proper education. This isn't YouTube University. We're seeing an influx of followers purchasing even counterfeit product from the black market and then attempting to inject themselves. There have literally been cases of blindness from people trying to inject filler, legit botulinum, paralyzing people. Silicone from the hardware store being injected in people's basements for booty lifts. And so many other disgusting stories of how social media influence has really been deadly. As someone who's been active on social media for years, I've experienced both the benefits and the drawbacks of social media use. On the one hand, I've had this incredible platform to market to my ideal patient with essentially a $0 budget for marketing, especially when I started this business. That's how I grew. That's how I built my patients patient by patient. I follow and find other aesthetic providers who share my interests. And as a resource to discover new devices, techniques, and products, it does come very handy. Although if I see one of those techniques that I like, Guess what I do? I invest in the training. I take the actual course because they're only showing you part of it. It's like the Greek kitchen or the Greek church recipe book. Like, you know that Yaya, she left things out of that recipe. So I definitely want to support my colleagues and get the actual training. Let's just say that. And also, I find that it creates this amazing community between all of us. It's also a valuable tool for promoting my business and my personal brand. And you know what? In March of 2020, when the world shut down, I was able to pay all of my team what they were making before getting shut down. And I had to get real virtual and sling packages of skincare to both keep us afloat and also offer people some self-care. And I have had people come to me, in terms of like the whole influencing thing, because that's a little bit of what I'm known for even. I've had people ask, how did your med spa or aesthetics practice grow so quickly? How do you have such amazing engagement? How are you the number one account with such a small office for certain large aesthetic brands? And I've even had people approach me because they know what I stand for and love certain things. So for example, a hair salon that formulated a brand new line and green chemistry with these incredible ingredients to grow your hair and protect your blonde and keep you healthy with green chemistry. Okay. It's like beauty that doesn't cause cancer. I'm very passionate about that. I think a lot of our beauty products, FYI, have so much bad in them. There's a documentary called Not So Pretty, I think. Go watch it. It's terrifying. The people that wanted to approach me with the hair stuff, they shared with me that their marketing person was looking at my followers and said, oh my gosh, like those are legit followers. And we have an identical brand market. And I have to tell you, I built those followers one by one for quality. I've seriously encouraged people to unfollow me if they don't like what they see, because to me, one quality follower is better than 30 disconnected, toxic followers who are just nosy and have nothing to do with our mission and values and vision. That's not even to mention the people who are still buying followers, and then people think that they have something to say and they don't. And, that's a whole nother ball of wax. But those people are very insecure and they just need to appear sought after and relevant and worthy. But anyway, I digress. I have an amazing following of people who, for some reason, want to know everything about me, my choices, my purchases, my diet, my family. And I never viewed myself as extraordinarily interesting, but my DMs are starting to suggest otherwise. That's why I'm an influencer. But on the other hand, social media can be a major time sink, and it can be easy to get caught up in the constant pressure to produce content and engage with followers. And I've even found myself scrolling through feeds for hours on end like a zombie, feeling anxious or overwhelmed by the sheer amount of information and content available. And the pressure to pump out content and open and thoughtfully respond to every DM. Listen, I love DMs, but I don't feel obligated to expend energy answering them all. I would be so depleted. That would be so unfair. I get snarky DMs or even bad reviews on my business Google page about the fact that I dared not respond to someone yet went on posting other relevant content. Like, what world are we living in? I just want to finish up with what are the pros and cons of defluencing versus influencing. So I think the pros of defluencing and getting space from all the noise is stop the misleading information, unrealistic standards. I don't want people to project an image of success that's based on perfection and like make everyone else feel inadequate and bad self-esteem. I don't want financial harm to happen because it's very easy to click a link and before we know it, we have a giant credit card bill. Hello, it's happened to me too. Trust erosion, like what can you believe and what can you buy with integrity? You don't want people to be inauthentic. And I definitely have seen this happen to people, even in my space. Marketing works, you guys. So I was talking to my business coach about it, which I have to jump on a call with her, but I kind of breezed over her comment that was like, you never want to be bought and paid for by someone because I'm not that. But I think sometimes it can appear that you are because you're so passionate for a product. And on the flip side of the coin, I believe that when I spend time researching the science and my education and trial and error and times at conferences away from patients and revenue generating activities, I think that putting money to train, passion, energy, output, all those things, why would I have an Instagram to post about it and benefit everyone else if there was no gain for myself? We don't do things that don't work also for us. So in the spirit of not doing things and continuing to do things that don't work for us, I would say that the things that influencing brings me is increased visibility. Influencers in aesthetic medicine can use their platforms in a really positive way to increase the audience viewing that they want to increase. You're marketing to a niche clientele. We know that there's no competition in our business. It's all about community and it's about marketing to your market value. It is just so important to recognize that, everyone that doesn't believe in the whole there's no competition thing. And this can really help me build my brand and others and attract new patients and then also establish them and turn that patient acquisition into patient retention. I think also I really use it for education and awareness. I love to know about different treatments and procedures and products in aesthetic medicine. And this can increase awareness and the understanding in our field that is so quickly changing. Community. Oh my gosh, community is a huge one because I'm trying to find like-minded individuals to stimulate my mind, to make me think better, to grow faster, to make me do things better for my patients, for my business as a leader. This whole social media platform has definitely, that's probably my biggest one is community. Collaboration, incredible. So when you're collaborating with other professionals, a lot of times you're bringing in the plastic surgeon's viewpoint, the dermatologist, the nurse injector as a team member of another big team, or the business owner. And I think that there's a lot of beauty in that to expand all of our knowledge and to be able to offer a lot more comprehensive services to our patients. And like a big one, increasing revenue by leveraging these social media platforms and all that we put into everything. It is okay to have some sponsorships and some collaborations and affiliate marketing programs that actually bring in additional revenue income streams, because this is going to help us grow our business and it's going to open up the doors for opportunity. So in the end of the day, these should always be balanced with ethical considerations, and Defluencing can definitely help you have a healthier relationship with technology and make sure that you're setting boundaries around that use and that there isn't true intention behind how you engage with technology and reducing an actual dependence on it. But there's always going to be pros and cons of everything. That's what makes this discussion exciting. And I can see both sides for sure. And you have to just get real with yourself about where you are and how it affects you. It's a personal choice. They both are going to be there, and you're ultimately the one that has to choose. So be intentional, prioritize your mental health and well-being above all else. These were my 2 cents. I hope you enjoyed it. Congratulations, you have done it. You've reached the end of an episode on the Curated Beauty Podcast and have enriched a part of your self-care by discovering something new. I hope this time together added a little perspective to your day and will ultimately boost your confidence and give you the strength to do all the hard things. As we walk through this journey together, follow our Curated Beauty Podcast. And if this resonated with you, share it with a friend, save the episode, and also follow our social media platforms in the show notes. We love to engage with our listeners on all levels.